Hi everyone, my name is Ting. I'm software engineer at Clark Center for Geospatial Analytics. Today, our team is going to share how we build out the open source tools and its implementation for deforestation risk mapping.
Thanks, Ting. Hi everyone, Rishi again. So I'm just going to give an overview of the project. So this project we've been working on in support of the voluntary carbon market since 2022, or 23 rather. And so what we've been doing is helping to develop a framework methodology as well as supplementary tools through which practitioners within the voluntary carbon market or just the carbon market in general can basically utilize this GIS approach to map risk, vulnerability, and additionality as it relates to carbon and carbon crediting projects. So as you see on my left side, this is the types of maps that we're producing. So we start with what we call forest cover benchmark map, and then ultimately going through the methodology, what the end map that the users want and are going to get out of this tool is the one in the bottom right, which shows the predicted density of deforestation in hectares per year. So all these tools and the methodology is supported by an open source tool, which my colleagues will talk about in a bit, and then all the data can be accessed at the links below me. This slide I'll go over quickly. This just shows the research methodology at a glance. Like I mentioned, you start with a map such as the one on the top right of the forest land cover. And then what you see below in the two streams are basically two different processing. You have the benchmark, which is a simple approach and can be used universally. And then you have the alternative model approach. All those maps ultimately feed into the UDef tool itself. And then from that, people get out, the users will get out scatter plots and the risk maps themselves and things that they can use to choose the best maps and ultimately decide the best model for what they need.
And UDef ARP is a free desktop app hosted on GitHub. So if you are interested, I encourage you to visit our repo by scanning the QR code. This repo includes all the source code, UI component, and documentations. We saw community collaboration is powerful. We have received lots of valuable issues and pull requests from users. So we leverage Python library like PyQt5 for grid design, NumPy, SciPy, and etc. for analytics. For large jurisdiction like DRC, we use NumPy memory map to optimize memory usage. So we currently on version 2.12 with Windows installer. We will provide Docker file for cross-platform at the end of the summer.
So my name is Simonson, research associate with CGA. And this is just an example of how we took the existing open source platform of UDef ARP and we did a little bit of experimentation integrating that into other geospatial platforms. So for example, here, this is an example where we've done an integration with ArcGIS Pro, where we took the modular components of the tool and broke it up into a toolbox that you can easily access here in ArcGIS Pro. To continue on with the nature of the open source project that is UDef ARP, we also did an integration with QGIS as well. Here on the left, you see an example of a plugin, which is effectively the exact same UDef ARP tool with the same user interface experience, all wrapped up into a QGIS plugin. And on the right, also similar to the ArcGIS integration, we also have separate toolbox there. And these are just some examples of how we can repurpose the open source tool and integrate it into other existing geospatial platforms.
Hi, I'm Tammy, software developer at Clark CGA. For over 30 years, we've been developing a GIS software called Idrisi and then later called TerraSet. And now we're happy to announce that it's open access. Yay, open access. The UDef ARP tools that my colleagues have been working on have also been implemented in TerraSet. So these ones show some of the dialog boxes for that. In addition to the usual workflow, we added a dialog to simplify the number of inputs to just 3 forest non-forest maps and to do a batch mode to save time and aggravation. You can get TerraSet Leroy GIS. You can download it from GitHub or using that QR code or that address. And you can also download, like she said, the open source code for the Python one. That's the one with the source code. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to come ask us afterwards.